Okay, so today we're diving into something a little different. We've got this blog post review, right? It's by Rahul Singh over on akaltara.blogspot.com, and it's about this book, Amrit Nadi, which I guess translates to River of Nectar.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're going to try and figure out like what makes this book so captivating, especially for folks interested in, cultural narratives and travel. The review is really positive, so it definitely seems like it resonated with this one reader at least.
For sure. And the Narmada River is like the heart of Amrit Nadi, right? The review really highlights like how beautiful it is and how important it is spiritually for the people who live along it.
Yeah, and the book's all about this guy Vigad's parikrama, basically his journey along the whole river. Now, some listeners might not know, a parikrama is like a pilgrimage where you walk around a sacred site. So in this case, it's the entire Narmada River, which is a pretty big deal. And it's super important in Indian culture and religion.
Totally. Like if you're into how people connect with nature through spirituality, this is right up your alley. The Narmada Parikrama is considered like super sacred, a really challenging and transformative pilgrimage for a lot of people.
That's pretty intense. And the reviewer mentioned that Vigad's writing style is like natural and effortless. It pulls you right into the experience. Paints this vivid picture of the river and everything around it.
Yeah, it's almost like experiencing it through art. And that makes you wonder how that kind of writing, that vividness, helps the reader grasp the river's spiritual significance, you know? Like, does it make it more real or something?
I think so, yeah. It's like you're right there with him. And speaking of being there, the reviewer also pointed out that the book's got all these little stories about Vigad's encounters with the locals. And it's not just like, hi, bye. He actually gets into their beliefs and traditions, the stuff that makes up their lives along the Armada.
Right. It's like getting a glimpse into these different cultures firsthand, beyond just the travelogue stuff. If you're into anthropology or sociology, this book seems like a goldmine.
Absolutely. And zooming out a bit, the review emphasizes how culturally important the Armada is, like in general. It's woven into all these local customs, folklore, and Indian culture as a whole. Like it's a unifying force across all these different languages and traditions, which is pretty amazing when you think about it.
Yeah, for anyone trying to understand how India's diverse cultures all fit together, the Narmada, especially as it's presented in the book, seems like a perfect case study.
Yeah, this is where it gets interesting. The book's not just a straight-up travelogue.
Yeah.
Apparently, Vegad throws in all these philosophical bits about life, the cycle of things, and why humans feel the need to go on pilgrimages.
It makes you think, right? Like, how often do we really consider the deeper meaning behind our travels? Adding that layer of philosophy elevates it beyond just a travel story. It's about universal human experiences, you know?
Yeah, I get that. And here's another thing that caught my eye. Vegad's wife, Kanta Vegad, wrote a piece at the end of the book, and it's supposed to be super personal, like a window into their lives and their relationship. I bet that adds a whole other dimension to the story.
Oh, absolutely. That kind of personal touch can be so powerful. It gives you a completely different perspective on the journey and how it affected Vegad's wife, like someone who was really close to him. It's an emotional layer you wouldn't get from just straight observations, right?
Totally. Now, the reviewer keeps it real.
Mhm.
He mentions there are a few small factual errors in the book, but he's clear that they don't ruin the experience at all. In fact, that honesty makes his recommendation even stronger, in my opinion.
So basically, from what we're seeing in this review, Amrit Nadi sounds like a really cool blend of travel writing, cultural exploration, and personal reflection. And it's all tied together by this sacred river, the Narmada.
And the reviewer seems pretty confident that anyone interested in nature, spirituality, or Indian culture will love it.
Definitely.
Which leads to a final thought, something for everyone listening to chew on. If one river can hold this much history, culture, and personal meaning, what other rivers of nectar are out there? I mean, they could be literal rivers, but they could also be metaphorical ones, right? Like something in your own life or your learning that you can explore deeply.
It's all about finding those hidden depths.